Otherwise, just, I'm gonna choke. Y'all remember that show? Hi everyone, it's Annabelle from Reading Geek. I realize it's been a while, but we're back. And that's all that matters. You know, that I will, even if I take like 3-month hiatuses, I'll be back. I'll try being more consistent now. It's been obviously a few hectic months for everybody, and I'm feeling more motivated to make more content for you guys, so I will definitely be here. So today I will be giving you guys my May 2020 TBR. Part of these books are me playing catch up, and the other part are me trying to read books as they kind of come out. So a few of these will be coming out in May. I have a couple of them with me. A couple of them are still coming in the mail. Well, actually one of them is coming in the mail. But yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys what I've got. And I'm really excited to read these books. I'm so hyped up. She hyped. So the first book on our May TBR is Aurora Burning, which comes out May 5th. My copy, unfortunately, isn't going to get here till May 7th because of delivery delays. Oh, what a time we live in. But that's okay. I have quite a few books that I might be reading before then. I act like I'm gonna read like 5 books before May 5th. We ain't gonna be doing that though. I'm really excited for this one. The more I think about it, the more I really need to do an Aurora Rising reread because a lot happens in that and my memory is jacked. I fully recommend Aurora Rising, obviously, because I chose to read book 2, and if I didn't like it, I would not have picked up Aurora Burning. Ew. Yeah, I'm so excited for this one. I feel like the Aurora Rising situation is just so interesting, and maybe I haven't read anything before because I don't really read sci-fi like that, but I love the characters. They're all super unique, super hilarious. The writing is witty and snarky and in a fun way, not in like an obnoxious way, because I feel like a lot of YA writers try to write like that and it's just like, no, your character just sounds like an asshole. Yeah, I think Kaufman and Kristoff do a really good job of writing in that style. But I'm really excited how our ragtag team of misfits, I believe Squad 312 or 312 are gonna come back and hopefully save the galaxy from the great evil that is tormenting it. Do we know what that great evil is? Sort of, kind of. In book 1 we start learning what's going on, but I hope we get to learn more in book 2. The next book is actually one I'm playing catch up on because I started it in April. We're about 150 pages in and I dropped it. And that is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maharan. Okay, so I picked up this book because the premise seemed just so cool to me. Like, I love enemies to lovers, witches and witch hunters. I was just like, what's gonna go on in here? And so far, I really like the magic system. I like the world we're building, but I don't care too much about the characters. There's just something about the way they're written. And you know what? That's what I was just talking about with Aurora Rising. I feel like she tries to make them like snarky and witty and stuff, but it's like in an obnoxious way. Like, I don't like LuLaRoe because she's that character. Granted, we're only 150 pages in and this is like well over 400 pages. It's almost 500 pages. So things might change. I will come back to it. I just need to see some development here. But yes, Serpent and Dove is one that we will be finishing in May. So LuLaRoe is a witch who has kind of like renounced her witchcraft. Yes, she no longer uses her magic. She seems to be on the run from something. Not just the Chassers, which are like witch hunters at the time. And for some reason or another, her and a Chasser, this Chasser Reed Diggory, find themselves in a compromising situation in which the only solution is for them to get married. So they end up getting married to each other. And then that is where our romance ensues. Thus far, they haven't really been like, you know, falling for each other yet. So you know what? I need to keep reading it. You know, we're just in the early pages. I have to stop feeling like I'm not liking this book. This is a book that has been sitting on my shelf for quite some time now. I can't say for sure when it was that I got it, but it is Leigh Bardugo's Ninth House, her first adult fiction. We ready? And it's a little bit darker. I do want to read something dark. I haven't read anything dark in a while. Granted, I don't really read dark books that much. This book follows Galaxy, aka Alex Stern. Galaxy, I kind of love it, kind of don't. I don't know how I feel about that name. Anyway, she is a bit of a misfit. She's like the freak in Freaks and Geeks. She's fallen in with the wrong crowd, okay? She's dropped out of high school for some reason, but then ends up being the sole survivor of a multiple homicide, which I'm just like, what? I need to read that. And when she wakes up, she's been offered a full ride to Yale. What's the catch? Ooh, money. She is tasked with the job of monitoring the secret societies of Yale University, which just so happened to be involved in the occult. So I'm kind of really excited about that. You know, some dark shit happening in this book. So that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I don't know what the hell that was, but we are very excited to read this one. All right, so my next read is Beach Read by Emily Henry, and this is an early release. I believe it comes out May 19th, so I will try my absolute best to read it before then. And this follows two writers, a rom-com writer and a literary fiction writer, and they're both, for some reason, at their beach houses broke. They're broke at their beach houses. They find themselves at the beach trying to write their respective novels and failing terribly. Writer's block, am I right? So they decide to help each other out. Something leads to another, and they do a whole switcheroo situation, I believe, in which January will now be writing a literary fiction novel and Augustus will attempt writing a rom-com. So they're helping each other out. January is taking him on like dates, or at least to places where a romance can blossom. What do you think's gonna happen with that, January, huh? What do you think's gonna happen with that? That's an equation for romance, y'all. And Augustus takes her to interview, like, I forgot what it was. Hold on. Give me a second. To interview members of a backwoods death cult. That's right. I'm just really, really excited to read this one. I am a sucker for a good romance, especially the one of the comedic kind, which I believe this one will be. I hope it will be. If it's not, that sucks. But anyway, I've been noticing that a lot of people are hyping this one up quite a bit. One of my favorite Instagrammers, Haley Reads, gave this one 5 stars, and we trust, so I'm really excited to read this one. The next read is one that I haven't gotten yet, and I feel like I probably should have read it in April because it's Normal People. The one that's getting a Hulu show. The one that got a Hulu show as of the 29th of April. And now I have to read it because I have to watch that show. But I have to read the book before I watch the show. For what reason? I'm not sure. Because the show looks pretty good. I saw it got an 82% Rotten Tomatoes score, so you know, that's not bad. So Normal People follows the relationship of Connell and Marianne. Connell is the star of the soccer team in high school. He's a popular kid, and Marianne keeps to herself. She's very reserved. And yeah, she don't like talking to nobody. She ain't got time for you. One day, Connell is going to pick up his mother from her housekeeping job at Marianne's place, and a relationship ensues between the two, but they decide to keep it a secret. Then they both end up going to the same college, but they kind of go their separate ways. Marianne finds her social circle, and she, you know, she's blossoming, while Connell is a little bit shy and reserved, stays to the sidelines, but every now and then they come back to each other. They're magnetized by each other. Magnets. But then things start changing. Marianne starts exhibiting self-destructive behavior, and Connell, I don't know, starts looking for something somewhere else. But how far will they go to save each other? All right, so I'm just really excited to read this and then watch the Hulu series. The only thing is that when I was reading the summary for it, it reminded me of another book that I read and did not very much enjoy, and that was Haruki Murakami's Norwegian Wood. I'm sorry, Haruhi. We haven't given up on him yet. We haven't given up on him yet. But I have really high hopes for Normal People. It feels like it's very much a character-driven novel, which I love. So we are excited for that one. So the next one is another kind of me playing catch up, because this was a book I was supposed to read, I believe, in February, but I didn't read it. And it is The Two Lives of Lydia Byrd by Josie Silver. So I already have really high hopes for this, because the first book that I actually picked from Book of the Month, I believe, was her other novel, One Day in December. And I loved that novel. It was one of the books that kind of brought me back into reading after having like a 4-year slump. So this book follows Lydia Byrd, who has just lost her long-term and love of her life boyfriend, Freddie, to a car accident. So she is going through the grieving process, but something crazy, magical happens. She's transported to a world where Freddie is still alive, where this tragedy never happened. Time and time again. Hence The Two Lives of Lydia Byrd. So she's living her real life without Freddie, and then this alternate life where she gets to be with the love of her life. But what if she starts falling for somebody else? Starts moving on with her life. What happens then? So the next book is actually a new release. It comes out May 5th, and by the grace of God, I don't know, or like a mistake, or maybe they did it intentionally, it was delivered to my house extra early, and I am so excited for it. And it is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. First of all, this cover is gorgeous. And not just the cover, not the front, the back is beautiful. The binding is beautiful. And even without the book jacket, this freaking book is gorgeous. Look at that. Dominican Republic, New York City, and then this really pretty color palette. You know, I have the right mind to change this color palette to this color palette. It's more subdued, I feel. I don't know. Anyway, this story is also another story about grief. I didn't realize I finished off with that. I already read like a couple of pages and I'm already in love. I love it when Acevedo writes in verse. I absolutely loved The Poet X. With a Fire on High wasn't my favorite. We won't talk about that today. Clap When You Land follows Camino Rios and Yahaira Rios, who are both sisters that don't even realize they are sisters. Camino lives in the DR with her aunt, and Yahaira lives in New York City. And one day her father is going to visit the Dominican Republic, as he often does, and his flight doesn't make it. There's a plane crash and the two girls lose their father. And all of these secrets start unearthing themselves, one of those being that they each have a sister in each other. And we kind of see how the girls are dealing with these life changes and these secrets being unfolded. And I'm like really excited about this. That brings us to the end of this video. Those are all the books that I plan to read this month, and hopefully a few more. But you know what? Let's keep our expectations low, because I tend to not read very much or very quickly. My cap is like 5, but what? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. 7 books on my TBR. Can I do it, guys? Cheer me on. Do you think I can do it? I think I can do it, because these all sound like really awesome books that I can zoom right through. So I'm really excited for May 2020. This is going to be a really good reading month. I have faith. You better read all those books, girl, I swear to. I hope you all enjoyed. Are any of these books on your May TBR? Would you like to add them to your TBR? Have you read them already? Let me know. Please comment down below. Be sure to subscribe, like, hit that notification bell so you guys can get notified when I post. Squad 312, Misfits. Badass misfits, though. Oh my god, I need to do a reread of Aurora Rising because I am blanking.